Store.com. The Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service will begin shortly. We will be reading local news from around the Southwest Missouri area, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on YouTube, KSMU, and on the Audio Reader Network at Kansas University. For more information, please visit us at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. Please stay tuned as our broadcast will start soon. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel now. At Blind Community Thrift Store on YouTube, and more info about this radio reading service, Navalins, and the Blind Community Thrift Store at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. The Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service will begin shortly. We will be reading local news from around the Southwest Missouri area, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on YouTube, KSMU, and on the Audio Reader Network at Kansas University. For more information, please visit us at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. Please stay tuned as our broadcast will start soon. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel now. At Blind Community Thrift Store on YouTube, and more info about this radio reading service, Navalins, and the Blind Community Thrift Store at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. The Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service will begin shortly. We will be reading local news from around the Southwest Missouri area, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on YouTube, KSMU, and on the Audio Reader Network at Kansas University. For more information, please visit us at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. Please stay tuned as our broadcast will start soon. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel now. At Blind Community Thrift Store on YouTube, and more info about this radio reading service, Navalins, and the Blind Community Thrift Store at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. The Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service will begin shortly. We will be reading local news from around the Southwest Missouri area, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on YouTube, KSMU, and on the Audio Reader Network at Kansas University. For more information, please visit us at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. Please stay tuned as our broadcast will start soon. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel now. At Blind Community Thrift Store on YouTube, and more info about this radio reading service, Navalins, and the Blind Community Thrift Store at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. The Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service will begin shortly. We will be reading local news from around the Southwest Missouri area, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on YouTube, KSMU, and on the Audio Reader Network at Kansas University. For more information, please visit us at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. Please stay tuned as our broadcast will start soon. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel now. At Blind Community Thrift Store on YouTube, and more info about this radio reading service, Navalins, and the Blind Community Thrift Store at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com.
Write that down while we have 40 seconds. All right, you want to get that article set up?
The time is 10 a.m.
Ready, Max?
Yeah. Actually, you read the intro.
Thank you for tuning into the Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service. My name is Savannah, and I'm here with Madison.
Hey.
We invite you to listen to our broadcast both live and on demand. Our live sessions are available on the Blind Community Thrift Store YouTube channel Monday to Friday between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. each week. Additionally, you can access on-demand content through the Audio Reader Network, which offers a wide range of audio materials for the visually impaired community. To explore content from the Audio Reader Network, please visit www.reader.ku.edu. The site provides details about accessing content via Amazon Alexa, Audio Reader Network mobile app, and information on receiving a radio to listen to the broadcast by KSMU Radio. All broadcasts are played over KSMU subcarrier airwaves at 67 kHz on 1.1 from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Contact Audio Reader Network for information on receiving a pre-programmed radio.
First article of the day. It's from Ozarks First, and it talks about today's forecast. Perfect spring day today, stormy Friday evening. This was posted by Tom Schmidt. Tom Schmidt?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay. Was posted today, May 7th. The gloomy weather from Tuesday and part of Wednesday is gone, and we'll find a fresh feel in the air this afternoon that'll make it ideal to be outdoors. Hold on. Excuse me. Friday starts nice, but we'll find scattered storms Friday evening. More rain is expected for some this weekend too. There's now a picture with a background picture of motorcycles in the sunlight, and above there's a title that says "Good Day to Ride." 7 a.m. will be 41 degrees with winds being calm. 9 a.m. is 53 degrees with south winds ranging from 5 to 10 miles per hour. 11 a.m. 59 degrees with southwest winds going from 5 to 10. Actually, all the way from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. All the way from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. will be southwest wind speeds of 5 to 10 miles per hour. But
How about we just read the information in the order it's given to us?
But anyway, 7 a.m. is 41 degrees, 9 a.m. is 53 degrees, 11 a.m. is 59 degrees, all sunny. 1 p.m. there's a little bit of clouds, and it's 63 degrees. And 3 p.m.
Still cloudy.
Yeah, still cloudy, but it'll be 65. But from the looks of it, it looks pretty calm. Continuing, temperatures will be in the mid to upper 60s today, under sunny skies with a light west breeze. Nearly the perfect spring day. Tonight, however, will be chilly, but not cold, with lows dipping into the upper 40s. Now there's a two-picture panel of today and tonight, with most of Missouri being in the upper 60s and 70s. And tonight's forecast shows most of Missouri in the upper 40s to mid 50s, with sunny being the main weather for today. Friday will be a much warmer seasonal day in the 70s. Winds will be out of the southwest and at around 10 to 20 miles per hour, with skies becoming partly cloudy later in the day. Now there's another picture panel of weather, tomorrow. Above were Lake Ozark, Rolla, Stockton, and Camdenton.
There's likely to be rain.
There's likely to be rain. And on the bottom where Harrison, Branson, and Springfield, West Plains, Joplin.
On the lower
The majority of Springfield will be dry, but
the majority of Missouri.
It's
It's okay.
The top of Missouri will be mostly rainy, with winds, as mentioned before, 10 to 20 miles per hour, with the temperature mostly being in the upper 70s. Anyway, a cold front will push through the area Friday night, triggering scattered thunderstorms along the front late Friday afternoon into the evening. Hail is possible with the stronger storms, and a few could become severe with a risk of large hail. There's another two-paneled picture, one being a storm risk with most of Missouri in the green, and there's a box next to it, and it says what to expect: afternoon through the evening, low severe risk, some wind and hail. And next to it, there's
A future cast?
a future cast with the storm passing by 7:30 p.m. with the majority of Missouri out of the rain. Right?
Yes. The rain would be moving from the northwest to the southeast corners.
Right. The weekend will start with warm, sunny, and dry weather on Saturday. Another cold front, however, will sweep through Saturday night into Sunday morning, bringing additional chances of rain to the area. Severe weather looks unlikely with the front on Saturday night. And it's got the majority of Springfield with degrees in the Springfield. I meant Missouri, Springfield, Missouri, mostly.
It's all of Missouri.
I am so sorry.
It's okay, no worries.
I meant the entire Missouri state will mostly be in the upper 80s. And there's a picture next to it that says Parade of Cold Fronts with, how would you describe this?
The cold front moving in from the northwest corner to the southeast corner.
Starting at 7 a.m. on Sunday. Rain may linger into Sunday morning, but will clear away early on with clouds breaking apart for the afternoon, and Sunday will be much cooler in the upper 60s with a north wind. Sunny and warm weather returns on Monday and Tuesday with highs in the mid-70s to the low 80s. Yet another cold front will bring a third chance for rain in the Ozarks on Tuesday into Wednesday of next week, and scattered thunderstorms are possible late Tuesday. At the end, it shows another parade of cold fronts with
a cold front moving again from the northeast corner, or to the northwest corner to the southeast corner at 1 p.m. Tuesday.
With the weather being partly cloudy.
It's showing that there could be storms because it's a future cast, or there could be some sun.
Right. But for now, that's the end of that article.
From the Springfield Business Journal, University of Missouri to expand Springfield campus to 4-year medical school. Full curriculum will be offered by summer 2027, official says. The article starts with a photo of third-year student Andrea Espinoza at the University of Missouri School of Medicine as she participates in a lab simulation with volunteers Isabel Bowser and Jeff Stacy at the Springfield campus. Jeff Stacy is sitting on the bed while Andrea Espinoza is wearing pink scrubs and checking his heart rate, while Isabel Bowser sits next to him sits next to Mr. Jeff in a chair. Article written by Mike Cullinan. After establishing a clinical site in Springfield a decade ago, the University of Missouri School of Medicine is expanding its local campus to a 4-year medical school. MU officials say the expansion is expected to boost opportunities for students to learn and work in Springfield amid a statewide shortage of physicians. The Springfield site began operations in 2016, providing education and clinical rotations through the partnerships with Cox Health and Mercy Springfield communities. For third and fourth year students after 2 years of studying in MAU's Columbia campus. But with the program expansion, plans call for the fall medical school curriculum to be offered to local students starting in summer 2027. Currently leasing 22,000 square feet in a building at 1845 South National Avenue, MU in November purchased 77,000 square foot building from Jack Henry & Associates Incorporated. That will serve as the new Springfield campus site for its medical school. MU officials declined to disclose the purchase price for the facility located at 3737 South Battlefield Road near its intersection with Blackman Road. Jack Henry maintains ownership on operations of a second building on the property. Dr. Richard Barron, MU's Executive Vice Chancellor for Health Affairs and Dean of the School of Medicine, said he's excited for the oncoming expansion, which he noted has been discussed internally for around 6 years. They'll get all of what we call preclinical training: anatomy, physiology, microbiology, all the basics. They're going to be getting it down in Springfield, Barone said of students. The idea behind this is that if they spend the full 4 years of medical school in Springfield, then there is a higher chance that they'll end up practicing in southern Missouri. The Springfield campus currently hosts up to 28 third-year and 28 fourth-year students each year. The cohort size will grow to a capacity of 32 students next year, officials say. By the fall of 2030, officials hope the Springfield campus will have 4 classes of 32 students, or a total of 128 people. This would bring the total enrollment of medical students at the MU School of Medicine to as many as 672 across both campuses. Curriculum will be comparable at the Springfield and Columbia campuses, officials say, and partnerships will continue with Cox Health and Mercy to offer clinical rotations for its medical students. Addressing workforce. Dr. Tim Jones, Chief Physician Executive at Cox Health, said the expansion provides the opportunity to grow the healthcare workforce locally. It has potential for a profound impact on filling jobs, not just in the Springfield metro area, but also the nearby rural communities, he said. As we continue as a community to grow, not just with the opportunity from Mizzou expanding to a 4-year clinical campus, but now the opportunity to grow residencies local and keep those doctors here practicing in a local area, it's a significant benefit and a differentiator for now Southwest Missouri, he said. Jones said it's commonly reported that there's a national physician shortage, and efforts such as MU's medical school expansion can help address that challenge. Nationally, projections in a 2024 study from the Association of American Medical Colleges say the U.S. will face a shortage of up to 86,000 physicians by 2036. In Missouri, the Circio Institution, an Austin, Texas-based public policy organization, is projecting the state's physician shortage will number more than 3,000 by 2030. The reality is they're making less doctors, and doctors are retiring sooner. It's just the matter of fact, he said. Jones said Cox Health is fortunate to currently have only a handful of specialties that are challenging to find recruits, such as neurology. That's because our biggest shortfall, I would say, from a physician shortage area, he said. Almost all of our other specialties, we're at or near recruitment goals. Now we have attrition, retirement, things like that we plan for. But we onboard an average of anywhere between 30 and 50 new positions a year. Dr. Sadif Sorab, Chief Medical Officer at Mercy Springfield Communities, said the healthcare providers' doctors offered around 1,700 hours of instruction last year to MU medical students. We've had a very strong partnership with MU School of Medicine for decades, she said, noting the medical school expansion took the collaboration to the next level. Sorab said physician recruitment can sometimes be challenging in Springfield from bigger cities or the East and West Coasts. I really believe it's going to help us retain our talent here in town, she said, of the MU Springfield campus expansion. All our college students have to leave and go somewhere else to do medical school and then go somewhere else to do residency, and we're not able to retain them. So I'm really hoping this is a step towards the pipeline for physicians locally from the 417 region who have roots over here, who have families over here, and who want to serve and take care of us, she said. Both Cox Health and Mercy officials declined to disclose physician shortage numbers. However, Jones said Cox Health's current numbers turnover rate for physicians is roughly 4 to 5% per year. Nationally, the hospital staff turnover rate is 18.5%, a nominal increase from 2024, according to the 2026 study from Nurse Recruitment and Retention from NSI, Nursing Solutions Incorporated. We like to think that we do a good job of getting them here, and we like to think we do an even better job of keeping them here, Jones said. In residency. As for residencies, Cox Health offers programs for graduate nursing, clinical pastoral, education pharmacy, and family medicine. Cox Health recently announced it was adding a new family medicine residency program in Branson that will begin this summer. As of March, Cox Health Springfield Family Medicine residency programs, which began in 1987 in Springfield, has graduated 264 family physicians since its launch, according to the website. Officials were unable to provide graduate numbers for the other residencies by press time. Jones said additional expansion plans for its residencies are under consideration, declining to share details. Mercy didn't currently offer residency programs in Springfield, but local officials said that will soon change. While not ready to disclose plans, an announcement will be coming soon in the next couple weeks, said Eddie Baron-King, Media Relations and Communications Manager for Mercy. We're super excited, Sorab said. It just goes with our vision for training the pipeline of physicians and then doing whatever we can as a hospital system for healthcare. Although the MU School of Medicine does have students rotate through Citizens Memorial Hospital in Bolivar as part of its Rural Scholars Program, the health provider is not involved in the University Springfield campus expansion plans, officials say. CMH has no residency programs according to the healthcare system officials. Building plans. Barone said MU has started moving operations to the Battlefield Road building, but renovations will be needed. He said the medical school will occupy around 2/3 of the space, with the remainder of the other university purposes yet to be determined. The simulation lab that will be moved over by next summer, Barron said. But we have to do some reconstruction inside the building that we purchased so that it'll accommodate the simulation lab. Renovation costs are still being finalized, officials said. Paragon Architecture LLC has been retained for the pre-design and design base, while a general contractor is yet to be selected. Dr. David Hostin, Associate Dean at the Springfield Clinical Campus, said he is among 10 staff members for the local medical school. An additional 14 physicians with Cox Health and Mercy serve as Associate Clerkship Directors, he said. MU officials say an additional 12 employees, including 2 more assistant deans, will be hired as part of the expanded staff. Prospective students may apply for admission to the Springfield campus beginning in this month for the 2027-2028 academic year, when the first 32 students' classes will begin in their medical training. MU officials say the medical school operates on a rolling admission cycle. Braun said between 20-30% of MU School of Medicine graduates who finish their 3rd and 4th years in Springfield end up living and working locally. But we think that with spending all years there, that'll actually make them even more agreeable to sticking around in Springfield, he said. If you do your undergrad, if you do your medical school, and if you do your residency in Springfield, I think the chance of you staying and working in Springfield is going to be much higher than 30%. And that is the end of that article.
Next article, it's from SBJ Magazine. SPS promotes assistant principal to Central High's top job. Did I say it right? Top job? This is by Claudia Riley. She's a reporter, and this was posted online yesterday, May 6th. Editor's note, it was last edited yesterday too. It says salary information has been added. Anyway, Ashley Felton has been named Central High School's next principal. Springfield's public schools tapped Felton Central's assistant principal for 3 years to replace Jeremy Brown. She starts the new role on July 1st. By leading from a place of positive solution-oriented action, Dr. Felton will maintain the focus on effective instruction while fostering the very culture that allows it to flourish, said Sheila Wynn. An executive director of high schools, said in a news release. That's what she said in a news release, is what I meant to say.
You said it right. You're good.
Yeah. Wynn also added, her administrative vision is not to change the heart of Central High School, but to unlock boundless potential of what the Central community can become. I am thrilled that she is joining the high school leadership team and the SPS administrative team, and I look forward to the expertise she will bring to our district. Felton graduated from Parkview High School and obtained a bachelor's degree and master's degree from the University of Missouri, Columbia, and a doctorate in educational leadership from Evangel University. She spent 9 years with the Lebanon R3 school district and was
An adjunct?
instructor at Missouri State University. I'm excited to begin this new chapter at Central, working together with staff, students, and families to create meaningful opportunities for growth and success, Felton said in the release. I also look forward to continuing to serve the Central community in this new capacity by listening, leading with humility, and ensuring every student and staff member feels valued and supported. Felton's salary in the role will be $114,824, according to district officials. Brown, who has been principal since 2021, plans to leave the district at the end of the 2025 to 26 year to pursue a job outside the region, district officials said. 2 months ago, SPS announced Megan Brown, who was married to Jeremy Brown, was stepping down as principal of Parkview High School after 3 years in the role.
From the 417, Brew 21 serves community and purpose. Brew 21 Extra Chromosome Coffee Co. serves community alongside every cup. The article starts with a photo of the Justice family, where it shows the owner of Brew 21 as he stands in front of both of his parents. Both him and his father are wearing a Brew 21 embroidered shirt. The background is his new cafe with 3 clusters of blue, yellow, and white balloons. With a mission as simple as spreading joy, Brew 21 Extra Chromosome Coffee Co. is changing the lives of local young adults with disabilities. When you walk into Brew 21, located inside the Upside Down Mercantile at 209 West Commercial Street in Springfield, you're greeted at the door by someone just as excited to see you as you are them. After browsing the Mercantile and grabbing a coffee, you most likely won't leave without a hug from one of the cheerful employees hoping to make your day. Owners Chris and Whitney Justice employ individuals with disabilities to work at Brew 21 by taking orders, making drinks, and greeting customers. Anyone who knows these young adults knows they're the life of the party wherever they go. Brew 21 started as a mobile coffee trailer in 2023. Chris and Whitney started the business for their 17-year-old son, Wyatt, who has Down syndrome. We wanted to come up with a job that he could have that would give him purpose and have meaning, Whitney said. We just started praying and dreaming about what that could look like. After much success with the trailer, the justices began exploring the idea of opening a brick and mortar. They're affiliated with the Down syndrome group, the Ozarks, and had a dream of teaming up with Upside Down Mercantile someday. Knowing Upside Down Mercantile was moving into a bigger space, they decided to put some feelers out there. What's crazy, too, was I had messaged the leader of the Upside Down group and the manager of their store and just said, "We don't know what the future holds, but we're praying for what's next and what we're going to do," Whitney said. And they are both like, "You're never going to believe this, but we're moving into a bigger space, and we had already talked about it. What if we brought Brew 21 in?" Brew 21 opened their physical space at the end of November 2025 on Small Business Saturday. The space is joyful and inviting and comfortable. They offer signature drinks like the popular Wits Pick, French vanilla and caramel, Dad's Choice, caramel, coconut, and mocha, and the one named after Wyatt, the JW, peanut butter and chocolate, along with classics and seasonal flavors. Chris and Whitney support their employees by spending time with them and learning how they work best. Most of them do very well with instructions, lists, and routines. Many of the employees have worked there for years, and the justices have learned the best thing that they can do for them day to day is to let them be themselves and allow their personalities to shine. They really do just thrive with the tasks that you can give them, Chris said. The goal of the business has never been profit, but rather purpose. Our goal isn't really financial, Whitney said. The goal is to create a workplace for people with special needs to have a job and thrive, really. It's really just about them. What began as a way to build something meaningful for Wyatt has grown into a broader mission of inclusion and opportunity. College students perusing careers in education and special needs services are hired to help, and the team has become tight-knit, reliable, and invested in the mission. Long-term, the justices hope to create a coffee packaging and production space to create additional roles for adults with special needs who might prefer quieter behind-the-scenes work. And the expansion to a brick-and-mortar location is a step in the right direction. It's all blessings, Chris said. Everything's worked out, and we've been blessed with great help and people who want to be involved. And that is the end of that article.
Sorry. Next article, once again, is from SBJ Magazine. There's the title. But first, there's a picture above the title. It shows co-owners Michelle Gibson and Trent Jackson led At Home Real Estate Services, along with Chief Operating Officer Jamie Wilcox. The company is the
Recipient?
Of the 2026 West Curtis
Yeah, you got it.
Stroop Small Business Award. It starts with that's Michelle Gibson and Trent Jackson, right? I think right here.
Yes, sir.
They're standing next to someone.
With Chief Operating Officer Jamie Wilcox.
Okay, yes. And they got a person in the.
They're standing in front of their reception.
Yeah, and she's smiling at the camera kind of too, with a rent drop behind them, and their slogan, "Our property, our priority," on the wall. Posted online May 6th of this year at 12:47 p.m. and this is by Mike Cullinan. Yeah, he's a reporter. The Springfield Area Chamber of Commerce this afternoon announced at-home real estate services of Southwest Missouri LLC as the recipient of the 2026 West Searcher.
Curtis? Bless you.
Thank you. I was waiting for that. Anyways, the Springfield Area Chamber of Commerce this afternoon announced at-home Real Estate Services of Southwest Missouri, LLC, as the recipient of the 2026 West Curtis Stroop Small Business Award. Okay. Founded in 2007 by Michelle Gibson and Trent Jackson, the residential property management and leasing firm received the award during a ceremony at the Oasis Hotel and Convention Center, according to a news release. The company was a first-time finalist?
Yeah.
For the annual award named in recognition of...
Recognition?
What did I say?
You said recognition, but it's recognition.
In
Recognition.
recognition of the late Sir Curtis Stroop, who founded the Chamber's Small Business Council and is a former director at Drury's University Breach School of Business Administration. Gibson recently told Springfield Business Journal that real estate, quote, has changed a lot over the company's nearly 20 years in business. At Home's 28-employee team manages approximately 2,800 units, most of which are single-family homes and duplexes across the Springfield metro area, according to officials. We have kind of crazy swings. COVID changed a lot of things too, she said of the real estate market. Being able to adapt to that is one of our strengths. We are always looking for ways to do it better, more streamlined, and to adapt with what we are facing. At Home started in a small 2-bedroom house on South Campbell Avenue and nearly doubled its footprint following a move to office space in 2009, according to company officials. Nearly a decade later, the business purchased its current office at 1628 South Campbell Avenue, more than quadrupling the size more than quadrupling the size it occupied upon its founding. At Home, Real Estate Services represents the kind of steady leadership, thoughtful growth, and community commitment. This award was created to recognize, said Craig Wright, Small Business Council Chair, said in the release. Michelle, Trent, and their team have built a company that not only serves its clients well, but also contributes to the strength and vitality of the Springfield region. Presented annually by the Chamber's Small Business Council, the award honors Chamber member businesses that demonstrate growth, innovation,
resilience,
strong company culture, and meaningful community impact. Gibson said just getting recognized as a finalist for the award was significant to her. It's emotional. I feel like, because this is my baby, I've nurtured it, she said.
Nurtured?
I meant nurtured, and
It's okay.
I took care of it. Yeah. Is that what it means?
Yes, but let's use the word they put there. So it's I've nurtured it.
I've nurtured it.
There you go.
Because this is my baby, she said. Reflecting on the late nights, working and wearing a variety of hats with the company over the years, I've put all my blood, sweat, and tears into this. According to the chamber officials, roughly 300 people attended to the annual ceremony, which also included a keynote speech from Casey Woods, new head football coach at Missouri State University. Other finalists for the award were in alphabetical order. First up, the insurers
Insurers?
of the Ozarks, a 1982 founded insurance firm for which a third generation owner, Bryant Young, took over the business on April 1st. PCNet LLC, founded in 1987, an information technology company led by President Marty Roach, People-Centric Consulting Group,
Yes. Management Consult.
LLC, a business management consulting firm founded in 2012 by CEO Don Harkey. Sensitive Sweet LLC and The Safe Spoon, a bakery started in 2022 by Katrina Hagen. Sensitively Sweet is joined by The Safe Spoon, a cafe she and her husband Alec opened earlier this year. For At Home, Gibson said one of its most significant expansions was the 2019 acquisition of Debco Management Incorporated. The deal added roughly 800 units at Home's
portfolio,
nearly doubling with whatever it was managing at the time, she said. We never sought to just get big real fast. We've just wanted to grow at a manageable pace where we weren't biting off more than we could chew, Gibson said. But we had done a lot of prep work beforehand to bring in extra people to get our systems really streamlined so that when people came on board, it didn't feel like, there's all this extra work. It was just a very, very smooth transition. Another catalyst for At Home's growth has been leaning into technology. The company adopted Appfolio as their software system early on and is continually evaluating and testing user experiences for other tech platforms, according to a past SBJ reporting. We've always focused on treating everybody's property like it was our own, Gibson said. How would we want it done if we owned it? Because we do own some of these properties too, and not treating it any differently than we own. No. How would we want it done if we owned it? Because we do own
some of these properties too, and not treating it any differently than we would our own. It's not a really phrase sentence. It's okay.
Okay. Noting she's had not so great jobs in the past, Gibson also said there was a desire early to make sure At Home would be a welcoming and supportive place for its employees. I wanted this place to be a place where people wanted to come to work, she said, and this is not an easy job, so that was very important to me. The 2025 Small Business Award winner was Publishing Company 417, according to a past Springfield Business Journal reporting, and the finalists are selected based on written applications reviewed by an independent panel of judges comprising previous recipients, local business representatives, and volunteers of the Chamber's Small Business Council.
From the Springfield Daily Citizen, Missouri lawmakers passed $50.7 billion state budget after final fight over school spending. The budget uses $2.3 billion from the general revenue surplus to cover a deficit to revenue. It's likely the last time that much extra money will be available to balance the budget. This article is written by the Missouri Independent and starts with a photo of House Budget Chair Dirk Deaton, a Republican from Seneca, as he raises his hand to speak on the proposed amendment. He is standing in front of a microphone wearing a red tie and raising a folded piece of paper into the air. This article is written by Rudy Keller of the Missouri Independent. A last-minute fight over public school funding Wednesday almost derailed final Missouri state budget votes as Democrats, with some Republican allies, questioned whether some funds dedicated to education will be available in the coming year. The debate centered on whether the budget relies too heavily on a good year for the Missouri lottery. Education budgets in the current fiscal year, which ends June 30th, were written on the assumption the lottery would produce $410 million, while the actual net from the ticket sales will be about $350 million. As a result, schools are not receiving about $245 per student that they anticipated when the budget was written. For the coming year, the budget plan anticipates $369 million from the lottery. The 16 spending bills sent to Republican Gov. Mike Kehoe's desk by votes in the House and Senate appropriate $50.7 billion for fiscal 2027, which begins July 1st. The spending plan covers a $22.3 billion deficit in the $15.9 billion general revenue budget by drawing on surpluses accumulated from 2021 to 2023. The budget allocates $48.7 billion to state government operations in the coming year, with another $2 billion appropriated for construction and building maintenance. The construction makes education the top priority for spending after the state pays its debt. The budget approved Wednesday allocates $4.3 million to the foundation formula, the state's basic and aid program for public schools. The issue that created the problem Wednesday is where the money comes from. State Representative Betsy Fogel, a Springfield Democrat, is standing in the middle of this photo wearing a green dress with a white shawl as she holds out a hand, palm facing up, and speaks into a microphone in the middle of a crowd. In the Missouri House, State Representative Betsy Fogel, a Democrat from Springfield, tried to send the bill with foundation formula spending back to a conference committee that met Monday to settle differences between the House and State Senate and spending bills. She said that she was misled at the conclusion of negotiations by assurances that all the money dedicated to the foundation formula was going to be available in the coming year. It was only later that she said that she learned that the lottery funding was uncertain. I feel frustrated that the information was not correct, Fogel said. House Budget Committee Chairman Dirk Deaton, a Republican from Seneca, said he was not concerned about the lottery projection. Every item in the budget is based on revenue expectations that may or may not be met, he said. This is how it works, Deaton said. They're all projections. The House defeated the motion to return the bill to conference committee, but with 16 Republicans joining Democrats. When the bill came up for a final vote, it passed 83 to 68, receiving just one more vote than the minimum needed to pass a 22 Republican-joined Democrats in opposition. The final figure from the conference committee showed the lottery is being asked to provide as much as $45 million, more than is likely without a substantial increase in ticket sales. While the House debated, the state Senate was at work on bills setting construction spending for the coming fiscal year. Senator Appropriations Chairman Rusty Black, a Republican from Chillicothe, added a $27 million appropriation for the budget formula to one of the bills to make up part of money that could be withheld by Kehoe if the lottery does not produce the expected money. Black said he also feels he was misled by reassurance from Deaton. I feel like maybe I was taken advantage of, Black said. Of course there are people now that think I'm a liar, and we'll just have to figure out what I can do when I can get a chance to go to St. Peter's Gate, what's true and what's not. In discussion with State Senator Lincoln Hugh, a Springfield Republican, Black was more direct about the result of the negotiations. Senator, you got this wrong, Hugh said. Yes, I did, he said. There is a photo of Senator Appropriations Chair Rusty Black standing in front of a podium with 3 stacks of papers in front of him. He is looking forward and addressing somebody that is out of view. Photo by Annalise Honshaw. Major budget issues. Where to find the money to pay for everything in the 507, $50.7 billion budget was one of the biggest questions of the session. At one point, the Senate budget plan drew more than $200 million from the $600 million in general revenue set aside in 2022 and 2023 for expansion and renovations of the big Capitol building. The number was reduced to around $100 million that will be spent on state operations, including $89 million used for public schools, another $120 million in being used in the constructions budget, and with more than $104 million dedicated to the renovations in the Capitol and $15 minimum directed to a parking garage for a new hotel and convention complex in Jefferson City. Other major budget issues included child care funding, where the House budget proposal cut $51.5 million in funding agencies that serve low-income and foster families. The money was restored in the Senate and maintained in the final budget, and will allow providers to be paid based on their employment numbers rather than on the day attendance of children in their care. Medical expansion, the program that provides medical care for lower-income adults of working age. In the 4 years that the voters' mandated program has been set aside in a separate line item, lawmakers have appropriated $13.5 billion, and the number of people covered has grown to more than 363,000. The program required general revenue for the first time this year, money included in the supplemental spending bill passed in March. The budget approved Wednesday uses $395.3 million of general revenue for the state's share of the projected cost of $5.2 billion. Adults with developmental disabilities services were slated for an $80.7 million cut by Kehoe. The cut faced bipartisan pushback and aided by a massive turnout at Capitol rally, the money was restored. Naloxone distribution programs were penciled in for a $5 million cut for the House, but the money was restored by the sentence and retained in the final budget. The payments for problem-plagued new accounting systems, known as movers, were cut about 20%, and money was set aside to maintain the system it was intended to replace. A higher education funding overlap approved in the House and intended to tie state support for colleges and universities was reversed by the Department of Higher Education and Workforce Development, was directed to devise a formula plan for distributing the funds by December 1st. Earmarks identified by the Independent, which totaled 151 in the budgets drawn up by each chamber, were reduced to 132 in the final budget at a cost of $304 billion, including 134.3 of general revenue. During Monday's conference committee meeting, 19 were deleted, including 2 for St. Louis County organizations that became a political issue between State Senator Brian Williams and University City Democrat and Angela Mosley, a Democrat from Florissant. Williams and Mosley are dedicated in the August Democratic primary for St. Louis County Executive. Senators Tracy McCreary, and Maggie Nierenberg of Kansas City are taking a look over 2 podiums over a stapled or a stapled packet. They are leaning over their chairs so that they can both read it and highlight certain parts. Future budgets. As they work through Kehoe's budget proposal, lawmakers reduced the deficit between general revenue tax recipients and projected spending by almost $375 million. That was only a fraction of the differences, however, and closing the gap will be left for lawmakers in future legislative sessions. In December, Republican State Auditor Scott Fitzpatrick warned Missouri as it was approaching a fiscal cliff if Kehoe and lawmakers didn't curb deficient spending from the surplus. The budget sent to Kehoe's desk would spend $15.9 billion from the General Revenue Fund, while the revenue estimate made in December projects projects tax receipts will total $13.6 billion. If Kehoe makes no cuts to spending approved by lawmakers, the general revenue fund balance, which stood at $2.9 billion on April 30th, will be reduced to about $600 million by the end of June 2027. Deaton, who is leaving office due to term limits, said at a news conference before the House budget votes that he's comfortable leaving it to future lawmakers to close the gap. This is a fiscally responsible budget for fiscal year 2027, Deaton says. Fiscal years 2028 and 2029, as you go forward, those are going to have to be looked at individually, and they might have to make different decisions. Democrats, who at various times criticized the budget decisions made by majority Republicans, said the issue of future deficits is a self-inflicted problem. Republicans have pushed through irresponsible tax cuts, Vogel said at a news conference after House action on the budget. We felt pain this year in the budget room, Vogel said. Subsequent General Assemblies are going to feel even more with continued conversations about the eliminations of the income tax and no guarantees that those will ever be revenue neutral. Not every appropriated dollar is spent, and construction projects can spend over several years. Lawmakers appropriated $15.3 billion from general revenue in fiscal 2025, which ended June 30th, while actual spending totaled $14.1 billion. Missouri cannot borrow money to cover shortfalls in operation funds. The Constitution directs the governor to control spending if revenue is not enough to pay all appropriations. We might be drawing down from reserves, Deaton said, but once and if that is exhausted, then this thing will work out, because you can't spend money you don't have. And that is the end of that article.
Next article, SBJ Magazine. Yeah?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay. First off, there's a picture starting with a blueprint. And it's similar to a blueprint, but it's not all blue.
It is a map provided by the City of Utilities of Springfield.
And what would those be? Instructions or just what they're showing people?
What the words on there say is medium-term plan map. Would you like to read the rest?
Yeah. Some key components. They're going to grow the system. Hold on. What?
Key components grow the system with a sub-point of. Would you like to keep reading?
Sorry, I'm confused by this one.
It's okay. We're going to keep reading.
Because who's saying all this?
So this is provided by the City Utilities of Springfield.
Okay. So they're saying they're going to grow the system, expanded frequency on 9, combine 2 and 12, run truck service at 15-minute headways, new east-west fixed route on Grand. They're going to deploy new services, micro transit zones, and potential new regional services. And they're going to improve travel times by streamlining route alignments and frequency improvements, reduce waiting time.
And on the right side shows a map of the city of Springfield split into districts with a few of these key components marked out of where they would go.
Connect SGF, a study released by City Utilities of Springfield in 2023, spells out medium-term changes for the city's transit system. As for the title of the article, pair of council standing committees to eyeball transit chaining. I meant changes. And this is by Karen Craigo, a reporter. A transit funding and corridor development
Referral?
Was made to Springfield City Council by a member, but his referral was significantly changed by the mayor by the time it reached yesterday's meeting of the Council Committee of the Whole. Nevertheless, the meeting ended with a 7 out of 1 vote in favor of the mayor's substitute referral. Council member Brandon Jensen submitted the referral October 6th to be taken up at a council meeting, but Mayor Jeff Schrag offered a substitute referral. Jensen's recommendation sought to examine goals established in a transit study performed by City Utilities of Springfield, which runs the city's bus system. CU completed a transit study titled Connect SGF in 2023, and it contained 3 sets of recommendations: short-term, medium-term, and long-term. CU subsequently adopted the study's short-term recommendations, and Jensen was seeking to have council examine its medium-term suggestions. Among suggestions from the CU study are to grow the transit system by a number of means. Okay. Including establishing a new east-west route and expanding frequency on other key routes, as well as deploying new services like microtransit zones and potential regional services and streamlining route alignments. The plan was already written for CU by consultant Incorporated, would improve travel times by streamlining alignments and offering frequency improvements. Substitute referral. Schrag explained that his substitute referral changes 3 areas. It refers a research portion regarding transit routes and operation to an existing council committee. The following,
It's okay.
I missed a pace.
It's okay.
Pace.
It's okay. Just keep going.
It refers to a research portion regarding transit routes and operation to an existing council committee, the Community Involvement Committee, instead of following Jensen's recommendation to set up an ad hoc committee. Okay. It employs an outside consulting firm to gather data.
Either way.
Hello, where am I? Wait. Okay, it employs an outside consulting firm to gather data and make a recommendation with the cost to be split between CU and the city's general fund. Upon acceptance by the Community Involvement Committee, the substitute refers the matter to the Finance and Administration Committee to explore funding opportunities for expanded transit services and to make funding recommendations. This represents the primary component of the workload, which is identifying any additional funding either by the
Reallocation.
of existing resources or for new funding for transit, Schrag said. Asked to detail his process. Asked to detail his process for developing the substitute referral, Schrag said it came down through conversations with CU, which already has a consultant in place. That consultant made a white paper that Schrag submitted to Jensen, who offered comments, and Schrag returned those changes to CU for the
consultant?
To make changes, he then enlisted Councilmaker Derek Lee, who also referred the matter to council, and Lee suggested getting the Ozarks Transportation Organization involved. OTO had a look at the recommendations too, Schrag said. Councilmember Monica Horton asked Jensen if he saw a continuity between his request and the mayor's recommendation. Jensen pointed out two additional differences. One is that the original referral called for the identification of a specific corridor in alignment with Connect SGF and for the development of a transit-oriented development plan to integrate transportation, land use, and economic development to present a
Holistic?
framework to a committee. This substitute referral explicitly states
Explicitly.
I know that word, it's just
It's okay. No worries.
it states that there will be no specific corridor identified and does not
Contemplate?
contemplate a review of our land development code or incentives to get the kind of density that we know we would need along the corridor, he said. Jensen said the original referral charged the
Ad hoc?
committee to analyze the organizational and operational structure of the transit system and determine if changes were called for. I'm really looking at whether the very unique circumstance we have for our utility provider also being the transit provider, which to my knowledge is the only example of that in the country. Whether that provides for the most efficient and effective operations of our transit system, he said. The substitute referral does not include any of that analysis.
Analysis. It's okay. You're right here.
In fact, he said the contract that the substitute referral incorporates places with the responsibility of working with the contractor with CU. It would be doubtful that that
would be an element of analysis, he said.
he said that 2 times.
It's all right.
Horton further asked if the substitute referral was worth supporting. Is it going to get us from point A to point B in terms of where we would like to go, she asked. Jensen referred her question to Schrag. The mayor said the referral does identify a possible enhanced service corridor, and it was important to include that because it was a priority of Jensen's. An examination of the entire transit system, it is my opinion that at this step that might be a bridge too far, Schrag said. I continue to believe that funding is the key. How do we identify funding if we want to expand transit? Because transit is not a self-funding entity. Schrag called funding the most important aspect of the referral. If we identify the funding, we could rebuild our transit system any way we want to, he said. I believe the major roadblock is the funding, and this is a chicken and egg argument. Which one comes first? He also said the Finance and Administration Committee should get the Community Involvement Committee recommendations quickly so it can look at alternate funding. Horton said she could see the substitute referral as a starting point, but she said it's
Incumbent?
upon council to acknowledge and incorporate the initial intent of the referral. If we're not doing that, it feels like we're spinning our wheels, she says. Benefits of the ad hoc approach. Jensen said there was a discussion at the original referral about whether an ad hoc committee would be appropriate. He outlined several large items already being worked on by the Community Involvement Committee, among them an issue about driveway and access points in the Land Development Code, a right to cancel or
To council ordinance?
for rental tenants,
Legislative?
priorities, and utility growth planning. Whoever the decision maker is, they need to have a level of expertise to be making well-informed decisions, he said. That's going to take a lot of time for the Community Involvement Committee just to build up that level of expertise and create a bottleneck of these other legislative issues that you are all going to be working through. He said an ad hoc committee would bring in a board-based
Coalition?
including transit users and business leaders whose employees rely on the system, whereas the CIC would have only 4 council members. I don't know how often the members of the Community Involvement Committee utilize the transit system, or if they ever have, Jensen said. Jensen said there is a wealth of data already available from the Connect not SBJ magazine, I meant the SGF report. The city's forward SGF comprehensive plan and the OTO, as well as information from the American Planning Association about necessary density levels to support transit development. That information already exists and it's pretty accessible, he said. I see it more as a step to show that we're doing something rather than trying to do something meaningful. Jensen also added that having one council committee create recommendations and having another figuring out how to fund them creates opportunities for disjointedness.
Disjointedness?
Yeah,
Yeah, you had it.
yeah. He also said he has concerns about the process by which the substitute bill came out. Can you read the?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
We do have a clear plan and Connect SGF, Jensen said. I mean, it clearly outlines a set of recommendations that should be implemented. He added that a broad coalition would be necessary to get there, and this is the right time to bring in a diversity of voices. Councilmember Craig Hosmer said he was concerned about CU serving as lead for contract management. They manage the consultant, they coordinate the day-to-day progress, schedule deliverables, he said. It seems like you're giving the entity that is in charge of transit right now the authority to pick the consultant, and who you pick as a consultant drives what your answer is going to be. Hosmer said it's not yet time to hire a consultant. We need to figure out what the city wants, reinvent, reimagine what transportation could be in Springfield, he said. If we limit ourselves to what city utilities wants to do, or what they think is doable, rather than what we think we deserve as a city, I think we're unduly limiting ourselves, he said. The good thing about a council committee is to think big, to think about what we can be, and how we could reimagine transit. Hosmer said the original referral offered more depth for what it could imagine. If we just look at what a consultant wants to look at, we may as well not hire a consultant because we know what we're going to get, Hosmer said. Councilmember Bruce Adib Yatsi said he agreed that going through a standing council committee would not be efficient. Additionally, he said a broad community coalition would be needed to achieve the funding mechanism. Not including those folks from the beginning is just going to be a potential roadblock, he said. Once we get the point of trying to include them, they're going to say, well, you've already made up your mind. CU's role. Lee said CU just went through the process of reimagining transit and spoke to stakeholders extensively, and the process resulted in many improvements. It's not a little bit of money, it's a ton of money every year, he said. We can all say it's great to have more, but it's great to have more housing. We added that only 0.1% of the city's population uses transit now, whereas 0.2% uses trails, a possible better investment on behalf of people without cars. We need to be imagining ways to get money, not imagining ways that city utilities could do it differently, Lee said. I just think that it's almost insulting to all the work they do all the time. Adib Yatsi said council is not trying to help the 0.1, but to help the 99.9 understand that they could use the transit system if it were a little bit different or better. Jensen said he used the Ford SGF Comprehensive Plan as his guidepost, and it showed that transit was among the top 3 concerns of community members. He also expressed his frustration with the process that punts the proposal through multiple council committees, to not end up with a plan that ties land use decisions and economic incentives to make transit corridors a reality in the community. I feel like this body isn't really willing to listen to fellow council members and respect whenever they're trying to elevate issues and bring data and plans to back that up, Jensen said. I know all of our hearts are in the right place, but it's such a frustrating experience. At the end of the meeting, Jensen made a motion for his original referral, which would move the issues out of the committee of the whole and to a regular Monday night city council meeting. That motion failed, 5-3, with support from Jensen, Adib, Yatsi, and Hosmer. Horton was absent from the vote. Troggs then put his substitute referral, moving the issue to the Community Involvement Council to a vote, and it passed 7-1 with only Hosmer voting against it. And that is the end of that article. We are currently broadcasting live from the Blind Community Thrift Store situated at 2713 North Kansas Expressway in Springfield, Missouri. For additional information about our store, please visit our official website at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. To explore more of our video content, including movies, reviews with Matt and Meredith, adaptive technology training videos, and other informative material, please visit our YouTube channel by searching for Blind Community Thrift Store. Our organization is dedicated to supporting the blind community through various initiatives, and our online platforms serve as valuable resources for community engagement and education. Did you want me to read the next one?
No, actually, I'll read the next one. This one's actually a good one. Sorry. Springfield News-Leader. Missouri conservation officials warn drivers of turtles crossing roads. And this was published by Dave DeMel, a Columbia Daily Tribune.
Columbia Daily Tribune.
Okay. Motorcyclists, how do you?
Motorists
Across Missouri are being asked to slow down and to stay alert for turtles crossing roadways during the spring months. According to a community announcement from the Missouri Department of Conservation. Spring rains and warmer temperatures prompt turtles to leave their burrows in search of food, mates, and nesting sites, often bringing them onto roads where they face a high risk of being struck by vehicles, according to the announcement. Several species are commonly seen crossing Missouri roads, including three-toed box turtles, ornate box turtles, and common snapping turtles. Why turtles cross roads in Springfield? First off, there's a picture of a close-up of a ornate box turtle crossing a road at James A. Reed Memorial Wildlife Area. And this photo was provided by Napaldo. How do you pronounce his last name?
Paldo
Pauthong.
Powthong, yeah.
Oh, it looks really cute. But that's all the picture is. It's a turtle. It's a close-up of the turtle looking up at the sky. Turtles typically spend most of their lives within a small area, but some may travel as far as 6 miles, according to the announcement. Young males are the most frequent travelers as they search
You're good.
for territory and mates, while females also cross roads while looking for suitable nesting areas. Roadways can also attract turtles because of warmth. Like other reptiles, turtles are cold-blooded and may bask on warm pavement during cooler spring days, which increases the risk of vehicle strikes. But here's how motorists can help safely. MDC encourages drivers who see a turtle on the road to slow down and, when it's safe, steer around it. If motorists choose to help a turtle cross, the agency advises putting personal safety first by checking for traffic and moving the turtle in the direction it was already traveling, according to the announcement. Additional guidance is available in a short MDC video at youtube.com. There's a link. Huh?
A hyperlink?
There's a hyperlink to it, which explains safe ways to help turtles crossing roads safely. Tracking wildlife vehicle collisions statewide. Beyond turtle safety, MDC is working with the Missouri Department of Transportation on broader wildlife vehicle collision prevention efforts. Missouri's Wildlife Vehicle Collision Study identifies locations where conflicts between vehicles and wildlife occur most frequently and recommends strategies to improve safety while maintaining habitat connectivity.
Yeah, good job.
There's more information about this at mo.org. mo.org has also launched the ROADS, Roadkill Observation and Data System, the app, which is a citizen science program that allows the public to report roadkill or animals near roadways. The reports are intended to help fill the data gaps and support conservation planning across the state. The article ends with the title, Leave Turtles in the Wild. MDC also advises residents to leave wild turtles where they are found. Removing a turtle from the wild and keeping it as a pet often leads to its death, according to the announcement. While most Missouri turtles live to 15 to 30 years, box turtles can live 50 to 80 years, and sometimes some turtles can live for more than 100 years. There's more information about Missouri turtle species as they're available through MDC's online field guide at mdc.mo.gov. Sheesh, you're first a chicken and now a turtle?
Very funny. From the Springfield News-Leader, Missouri State announcement details for spring 2026 commencement. Article also written by Dave DeMille. Missouri State University will award 2,625 degrees during its spring 2026 commencement ceremonies, with 3 events scheduled for May 8th at Great Southern Bank Arena, according to a community announcement. The university will host ceremonies at 9 a.m., 1 p.m., and 5 p.m., recognizing graduates from multiple colleges across the institution, according to the announcement. The first ceremony will honor graduates from the College of Business, the Dar College of Agriculture, and interdisciplinary academic programs. Student speaker Madeline Jared will address graduates during the ceremony. She is earning a Bachelor of Science in Marketing and an undergraduate certificate in food and beverage operations, according to the announcement. The article is broken up by a photo from graduates on December 12th, 2025. It shows 2 graduates facing away from the camera, and their caps are decorated with the Missouri State University bear logo that is bedazzled and also has been decorated to have sunshine rays coming out of it. This was provided by Jesse Sheave. Graduates from the College of Natural and Applied Sciences and the McQuarrie College of Health and Human Services will be recognized during the second ceremony. Student speaker Lana Jansen will receive a Bachelor of Science in Physics and an undergraduate certificate in computational science, according to the announcement. The university will also award alumna Mimi Garstang an honorary Doctor of Public Affairs degree, according to the announcement. The third ceremony will recognize graduates from the College of Education and the Reynolds College of Arts, Social Sciences, and the Humanities. Student speaker Maddox Radah-Sevic will receive a Bachelor of Science in Journalism with a minor in Communication, according to the announcement. Missouri State will confer 1,881 bachelor's degrees, 631 master's degrees, 104 doctorate degrees, and 9 specialist degrees in education. The university will also recognize 51 honors college students who completed a more rigorous academic curriculum, according to the announcement. Graduates earning academic honors will be recognized based on grade point average. According to the announcement, 223 students will graduate summa cum laude, 256 magna cum laude, and 385 cum laude. All right, that is the end of that article. Ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Do you need me to read?
Yeah, I was just writing a note down.
Oh, okay.
Springfield News-Leader, sponsor a highway program now, is open statewide across Missouri. Missouri businesses, organizations, community groups, and individuals can now participate in the Missouri Department of Transportation sponsor a highway program statewide. The program, previously available only in the St. Louis and Kansas City areas, allow individuals, organizations, and businesses to sponsor 1-mile sections of highway across the state. A MO certified service provider, Adopt a Highway Litter Removal Service of America Incorporated, handles litter removal and related maintenance on behalf of sponsors, according to a community announcement. Most highways in Missouri are now included in the program, with the vast majority of roadway miles open for sponsorship. Sponsors receive recognition with signage. Each sponsored roadway is cleared at least once per month or more frequently as needed, and sponsors receive signage displaying their name and logo along the designated stretch of highway. The expansion of this service with the help of these sponsors could allow us to offset some of the approximately $13 million that we spend on litter removal efforts each year. MoDOT Chief Safety and Operators Office, Becky Almeroth, said in the announcement. She added, every area of Missouri that is kept free of litter allows us to devote our resources to each other, devote our resources to other much needed tasks, and we encourage anyone interested in the effort to keep Missouri beautiful and to explore this new opportunity. Here are other programs aiming to keep Missouri litter free. In addition to sponsor a highway, MoDOT offers several other programs to help keep Missouri free of litter. Keeping Missouri Beautiful, MO.'s litter pickup program for Missouri state routes, formerly known as the Adopt a Highway program. No More Trash, Missouri's statewide litter prevention campaign working to make Missouri litter-free through education, prevention, and cleanup programs. And there's a trash can contest where MO.'s annual contest geared towards Missouri public school students in partnership with the No More Trash program to raise awareness and discourage littering. To participate in the Sponsor a Highway program, call Adopt a Highway Litter Removal Service of America Incorporated at 800-499-2367 or visit adoptahighway.net/Missouri. To learn more about MO.'s litter of efforts, visit mo.org/litter.
All right. From the Springfield Daily Citizen, Paul's Breakfast House. New Ozarks Eatery is home to the 3-pound cinnamon roll. The latest concept from the owners of Billy Gale's and Flat Creek opened in April and Branson. Article by Juliana Goodwin. The article starts with a photo of 6 breakfast plates of different types with strawberry banana crepes, chocolate chip pancakes, an omelet on toast, blueberry pancakes, Fruity Pebbles French toast, and then in the center is the 3-pound cinnamon roll that takes up the entire plate. This photo was submitted by Paul's Breakfast House. There's a new breakfast place that's causing a buzz on social media. Everyone's talking about the Goliath 3-pound cinnamon roll and foot-long French toast at Paul's Breakfast House, an 80s themed spot in Branson. The owners, Alan Cram and Joshua Rasmussen, own Billy Gale's and Flat Creek restaurants and are known for oversized portions.
That food looks so good.
It does. Nick Hirschman, Director of Operations, said Branson needed another breakfast option, but they didn't want to open another Billy Gale's, so they came up with a new concept. A building became available, and we pulled the trigger before we had the concept together, Hirschman said. It started as a nautical theme, being on the lake, but that felt a little played out. There are quite a few 50s diners in town. Both owners have fond memories from the 80s. We like the idea of bright colors, something that would stand out and pop. There's another photo of the restaurant that has their logo in plain view. All of the stone is painted blue, as well as the roof, and the logo is
It looks like something you would see from
a 6-pointed star with the words Paul's Breakfast House written in yellow, blue, and then pink, as well as a pink, yellow, green, and then yellow stripe going across the building at a diagonal. It's very bright, as the description has, or the owner's description said previously.
It looks like something you would see on a neon.
Yes, the sign is made to look with the bright neon colors.
Yes, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
And what's it called?
It's Paul's Breakfast House. That is what's on there.
All right.
The restaurant opened on April 7th, and this was the photo from opening day. Billy Gale's is known for its 14-inch pancakes, and they wanted another gigantic food item that would get customers in the door but didn't want to copy that dish. Initially, they planned to make giant waffles. We found it very challenging to have someone make the waffle iron for us that was 15 inches, he said. That is not something that is normally produced, so that idea got nixed. We talked about cinnamon rolls. We've done cinnamon rolls at Billy Gale's, but they didn't do as well as they'd hoped. They did normal cinnamon rolls, so we thought, what if we created a giant one? Hirschman was tasked with creating a giant cinnamon roll. From cinnamon rolls to French toast, some items are a quick hit. The next photo is a pan divided into 4 sections with 2 giant cinnamon rolls rolled in each section. Also submitted by Paul's Breakfast House. He worked with a couple of local chefs to come up with the recipe. After a lot of trial and error, baking is not his forte, they had a solid recipe. The challenge was mass producing it. It takes 5 hours to make the cinnamon roll and 45 minutes to bake, so they had to refine a process where cinnamon rolls would be baking at different times, so the customer doesn't have to wait 45 minutes for it to bake. They also offer regular-sized cinnamon rolls. They're hand-rolled and made in-house, and customers can watch them being rolled out. In the future, they want to add different flavors so that they are always advertising something new coming. Before they roll that out, they wanted to make sure customers were satisfied with the cinnamon rolls, and so far, they have been a big hit. Another successful item is the foot-long French toast made of brioche. What was not a hit was their signature potatoes. Those have been pulled from the menu because they were inconsistent. Instead, they have the same hash browns you'll find at Billy Gale's. The feedback has been much more positive since switching. Harshman said they listen to customer feedback and take it seriously, and are swift to make changes when needed. Another attention-grabbing gimmick is their Double Dare Challenge. It's one of those enormous meals that you have to eat in 30 minutes. If you do, it's free. If not, you pay. The challenges are live streamed, and the winner earns a t-shirt and a spot on the wall. There is a photo of somebody who goes by Terry Tackles It. He is a professional eater, and he is doing the Double Dare Challenge. He has 4 cinnamon rolls in front of him, 3 cups of coffee, a soda, a water, 4 pieces of French toast, and an amount of bacon that I cannot count as it is behind the glass, but there is quite a bit of bacon. He is sitting in a roped off area at a purple table as he's eating a cinnamon roll in what looks to be one bite. They hired an actual professional eater to test it for them. Known as Terry Tackles It, he completed the challenge. Hirschman said they wanted something achievable, but not by the average person. Big portions are what their company is known for. Today, people go out to eat, and no matter wherever they go, prices are rising. So we want people to see the value we are offering. People get a second meal. While other restaurants are slimming down, we want to offer more, Hirschman said. Cocktails are on the horizon, and the GM may be familiar. Those who remember Morning Day Cafe in Nixa, good news. The former owner, Miranda Alvarez, is now the general manager at Paul's. She brought her creative flair and breakfast cocktail knowledge with her. The breakfast egg rolls on the menu were her invention. There are 3 egg rolls filled with eggs and cheese. One has bacon, one has sausage, and one has avocado. They are served with queso and gravy for dipping. She was able to contribute a lot to our menu, Hirschman said. The restaurant does not have its liquor license yet, but it is in the process. Hirschman said they planned to add a full bar and coffee bar, but they decided to open before they had those in place. Within a few weeks, we'll have mimosas, Bloody Marys, and a whole list of cocktails that Miranda is ready to roll out, he said. Expect to see changes on the horizon. The article is broken up with a photo of the inside of the restaurant. It shows booths that are done in hot pink with birch wood tables and backgrounds of 80s style imagery of sharp, undefined sharp shapes that are colored yellow and pink with a fuzzy blue background. The walls on the back are also blue with different pieces of art across them, including a cassette, different album covers from the 80s, and pieces from around Branson. Paul's Breakfast House opened April 7th. They brought the building in December and started renovating immediately, so the past few months have been a whirlwind. The Paul in the name is a tribute to both of the owner's fathers, who are named Paul. While you can score breakfast all day, the restaurant also serves lunch and is open until 9 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. The smash burgers have been popular, and they have creative sandwiches and wraps. The restaurant is colorful and has iconic images from the 80s, like the Breakfast Club cast. The concept of the 80s has really resonated with people, Hirschman said. I've had so many compliments on atmosphere, the food, the music, the colors. We want it to be really fun atmosphere for our guests without crossing the line of being cheesy. They are adding a covered patio to improve the building and still working on decor. As a non-baker, it's been so rewarding to see the giant cinnamon roll come to fruition and take off. He's optimistic about the future. There is definitely more to come from us, Hirschman said. We are excited to expand on the cinnamon roll concept. I can't speak highly enough about our breakfast concept and what we have created on our menu. Paul's Breakfast House is located on 3009 West 76 Country Boulevard, Branson, or you can find them on Facebook. All right, Madison, ready for the next article?
Yeah. Hang on, I'm actually writing it down. I actually want to go there.
I know. How about we write it down after?
I'll read this one. Okay. All right. Next, from Springfield Daily Citizen, Senate committee vote kills Missouri video lottery proposal. The unanimous vote ends for the year the push to legalize slot machine-like games and tax them for education needs. This is by Missouri Independent. First off, there's a picture of a man playing at a Torch Electronics terminal at Rapid Roberts in Springfield, Missouri, Tuesday, January 21st of 2025, and this photo was taken by Shannon Kay. Missouri Independent, this is by Rudy Keller, and it says, a bill to authorize video lottery games in gas stations and other locations suffered a
Decisive
defeat Wednesday in a Missouri Senate committee, ending for another year hopes of vendors hoping to replace unregulated games. With no discussion, the Senate Select Committee on Gaming voted unanimously against the House-passed bill. The committee was set up by Senate President Pro Tem Sidney
O'Laughlin
to consider the bill, and she made herself the chair.
O'Laughlin,
a Republican from
Shelbina,
has been a longtime opponent of video lottery games and said nothing she's heard has changed her position. My problem is it's horrible for all the communities, and if we want to expand gaming, we can put it on the ballot, she said. Backers of video lottery games promoted it as a big source of revenue for Missouri, seeking to win support as the general
revenue
surplus is
depleted.
And Republican government Mike Kehoe pushes for repeal of the state income tax. The bill was estimated to generate about $300 million in the new revenue for education and $56 million for veterans services. That amount is attractive, Senator
Stephen Weber,
a Columbia Democrat, said after the committee vote. But Weber said he voted against the bill because his hometown is considering an ordinance banning unregulated games, and gambling of all kinds is a growing social problem. I'm becoming increasingly concerned with gambling, Weber said. I think that sports gambling is probably more impactful in a negative way than 5 or 6 years ago I thought it might be. I certainly am sympathetic
Mm-hmm.
to the revenue argument, but at some point, like, the state can't just be built on sin taxes. Under the legislate, yeah,
It's okay. Under the legislation.
the Missouri Lottery would have the authority to license video games for installation in retail store locations across the state, but the licensed machines would have to pay out at least 80% of the money wagered as prizes, and about 1/3 of the profits would be dedicated to state education programs. The bill would also impose a 3% tax on video lottery profits to aid local governments, and would increase the fee casinos pay for each patron
Patron?
who enters the gaming floor from $2 to $4. The bill also included an annual $250 fee per machine to go towards disability services. The bill was opposed by the Missouri Gaming Association, which represents the state's 13 licensed casinos, and the casinos believe the thousands of unregulated machines in Missouri's market has cost them and the state hundreds of millions in tax dollars since they began appearing in 2019. Mike Winter, lobbyist for the casinos group, said, "We're happy with that vote." Casino tax revenue, which is based on the amount lost by gamblers, has been growing but at a slow pace. And in March, as the rapid rise in gas prices due to the Iran war took hold, casinos reported an 11% drop in revenue compared to March of 2025. We've always been of the belief that with the number of illegal machines that are out there, that people are going to those locations to gamble illegally on a slot machine rather than coming to our facilities, Winter said. The defeat comes as a Republican Attorney General Catherine Hanaway, in cooperation with federal authorities, has been moving to shut down the unregulated machines. The new enforcement push began around the time U.S. District Judge James Ross wrote a formal ruling to back up an October jury decision that Torch Electronics, the biggest vendor in the sale market, was illegally competing with arcade-like games by offering illegal slot machines. Ross, who was appointed by President Barack Obama, said in a February decision that Torch's machines, quote, meet the state
Statuary?
definition of gambling device and therefore are illegal under Missouri law when played outside of a licensed casino. In early April, Hanaway announced that Torch has agreed to shut off all its machines in Missouri as it seeks a settlement to avoid criminal charges. No final settlement has been announced, but the machines remain off. There are other vendors who provide slot machine-like games similar to those offered by Torch. Hanaway has not announced any actions against other game vendors. Winter said he anticipates tax revenue from casinos will rise as the games are shut down. He then said, "It's going to take time as Attorney General Hanaway goes after more and more of these illegal machining operations. I believe you'll see an uptick in admissions at the casinos as more and more of those machines are pulled out of the operation."
All right. From the Springfield Daily Citizen. As documents point to no employee raises, MSU's new CFO faces tough financial road. Board of Governors Financial Committee to meet Thursday, preview next year's operating budget. Article written by Joe Hadsall. The article starts with a photo of the entrance of Carrington Hall at Missouri State University. during the middle of the day. As Missouri State University prepares for a difficult financial year ahead, the university is hoping its new chief financial officer can navigate the university through it, and that is his experience working for another university with money struggles will help. The latest draft of the budget for the 2026-2027 school year gives an indication of how tough the year will be, and includes no pay raises for the university's about 3,700 employees. The university's Board of Governors will meet Thursday, May 7th at 1 p.m. at Plaster Student Union. Earlier that day, 3 committees will also meet, including committees for risk management and audits and programs and planning. Members of the Finance and Facilities Committee will receive recommendations for the upcoming school year's operating budget according to documentation in the meeting agenda. The university will face several financial hurdles. Increased utility costs from the new construction projects, including the Smart Advancement Center and Reynolds Art Complex. The additional cost is estimated at $585,935, while the university hopes an increase in undergraduate tuition will raise an extra $3.1 million in revenue. Graduate students' tuition revenue is expected to go down by $3.7 million. Instead of earning about 4% interest income, the university will earn about 3%, representing a loss of about $1.7 million. Strategic planning initiatives will cost an estimated $500,000. Regarding the potential for pay raises, the documentation reports that every 1% increase in across-the-board employee compensation, the university would face an extra cost of $1.7 million. In the previous fiscal year, employees were given a flat salary increase of $600. Notable in the documentation is a role that Eric Schick, a new chief financial officer, will play. The financial impact of his hiring, listed as an additional cost in the operating budget, is estimated at $449,100, including his $300,000 annual salary. There is a photo of Eric Schick as he sits close to the camera wearing a yellow and blue tie with a matching pocket square. He is smiling. Photo courtesy of MSU. Until April 13th, when Schick punched the clock for the first time, the duties of the role had been absorbed by the office of Matt Morris, Vice President for the Administration and Finance. Previous CFO Steve Folkart retired in 2023. Reporting directly to MSU President Richard B. Williams, Schick will oversee MSU's financial operations and guide budgeting, resource management, and long-range planning efforts. The Daily Citizen asked to speak with Williams about the position and why it was filled after a more than 2-year gap. While the interview was declined, MSU sent a prepared statement answering the question. The university's financial operations have remained strong over the past year, with existing leadership stepping up to manage a broad and complex portfolio of responsibilities, according to the statement. At the same time, ongoing conversations across campus made clear that the scope and pace of today's financial challenges required a dedicated leader whose sole focus is a long-term financial strategy, planning, and oversight. The definition to hire a CFO reflects that need for focused leadership and clear accountability in a more demanding environment. Tough times in Tulsa. Schick was chosen from a pool of 9 candidates and 3 finalists. He previously worked as Vice President and CFO at the University of Tulsa, a position he held from 2021 to 2025, according to his LinkedIn page. The Daily Citizen has reached out to the University of Tulsa for confirmation on those dates, but did not hear back before publication. Before starting with the University of Tulsa, Schick was Executive Vice President and CFO of St. Francis Health System for 23 years. The system is Oklahoma's largest healthcare system. Earlier in his career, Schick also worked as a controller for Oklahoma State University Medical Center for 5 years. ProPublica's analysis of tax filings indicates Schick was making $880,899 a year at St. Francis by the end of his tenure through fiscal year ending June 2020, and $412,582 at the University of Tulsa, according to the university's most recent filing for the fiscal year ending in June 2024. When Schick's hiring was announced by MSU, Williams in a press release cited Schick's deep financial expertise and breadth of experience working in higher education and healthcare. He had led efforts for strategic financial planning, operational improvement, and organizational restructuring. His time at the University of Tulsa came amidst significant financial challenges. U-Tulsa is a private nonprofit university with an enrollment of about 3,858 students. It offers a variety of bachelor's, master's, and doctorate programs in business, engineering, law, and health sciences, and competes in NCAA Division I athletics. According to a report from the Chronicle of Higher Education, the University of Tulsa tried to remake itself in the first part of the 2020s into an educational powerhouse under the leadership of then-President Brad Carson. But Carson's plan didn't pan out. The university in 2025 held a town hall meeting to explain that it had faced a $31 million shortfall for the upcoming 2026 budget. To meet that shortfall, the report says the university cut $20 million mostly through contracts with food service providers and others. It also reduced upper administration costs by $1.5 million, implemented a 3-year hiring freeze, and laid off about 40 staff members. The Daily Citizen asked to interview Schick about his experience at U-Tulsa and was told he is unavailable for interviews at this time. In a previous interview request, the Daily Citizen asked if Schick's experience at U-Tulsa was a factor in his selection. Eric Schick was selected because of his depth of experience and steady, practical approach to financial leadership, according to a statement from the university. He has worked through complex financial environments in both higher education and healthcare, bringing experience in budgeting, planning, and oversight. His focus will be on aligning resources with institutional priorities and helping the university navigate current financial pressures while maintaining a clear path forward. MSU held its own town hall meeting in December about the university's financial picture. Because of its dwindling enrollment, the university made about $7.1 million in cuts from its more than $330 million budget for its current year. Complicating the 2026-2027 budget year are an expected higher payment into the MOSERS pension fund and the anticipation of no increase in state funding. To compensate, the board in April approved a 5% tuition fee increase as well as a number of other fees. The board is expected to consider and approve the budget during its June meeting. The fiscal year begins on July 1st. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to read the next article?
Yeah. There. Sorry. Oh. Next from 417 Magazine. Here are things to do this week in Springfield, Missouri. And this is by Taryn Shore McKee, right?
Mm-hmm.
First off, there's a photo.
It's a photo of a couple kayaking down a river.
Yeah, but who took it? It doesn't say who.
It's courtesy of Finley Farms.
Okay. If your house or vehicle took a beating from last week's hailstorms, you're definitely not alone. Between shattered windshields, battered roofs, and siding that suddenly looks very textured, it was a rough week for a lot of folks across the Ozarks, including us. In this article, it says, they say our house caught some damage and the hood of my husband's truck lost a battle to the hail, too. Hoping and praying everyone gets repairs sorted out quickly. On a much lighter note, Mother's Day weekend is here. You'll find this week's calendar full of brunches, perfume-making workshops, and even a Mamma Mia movie party. Longtime local traditions are back too, including the annual Round Tree Historic Homes Tour beyond Mom's Day, which the week
The week also dishes up a taco fundraiser,
guided kayaking on the Finley River, a tequila mixology night, a Gen X comedy tour, Bug Bash,
Keep it.
the beloved crawfish-filled rite of spring, and in the middle of all this, the school year is winding down too. Parents or not, May always feels like a sprint to the finish line. In parentheses, it says, "It's not just me, right?" So consider this a reminder to carve out at least one fun thing for yourself to do this weekend. On May 7th, here are 2 things you can do. Taco de Simo at Farmers Park. Admission is $35 to $45, starting at 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., where you can sample tasty tacos from local chefs and restaurants at this competition style festival. A benefit for the Development Center of the Ozarks. Also on the menu, margaritas and live music. There are also local vendors too, plus a
Chihuahua pageant?
world food judges have the final say in most categories, but attendees get to vote on the People's Choice Award. There's also Mother's Day perfume making workshop at Cassidy Station at
Estes Farms.
the admission is $45. It starts at 4.
5:30 or 7 p.m.
So either of those times.
There'll be 3 different times, yes.
Okay, one time will be 4 p.m., one time will be 5:30 p.m., and the other time will be 7 p.m.
I think they got it.
Yeah. Grab mom or another special woman in your life and create a completely customized perfume. The Cassidy
Depot.
Why was I going to say Depot?
It's okay.
The Cassidy Depot bar will be open, and Ozark will be on hand selling charcuterie boards and other bites. Prices include a 1-ounce custom perfume to take home. Thursday, May 8th, is one thing to do is the Gen X Takeover Comedy Tour at the
AIDS Center for the Performing Arts.
Admission is $45 and it starts at 7 p.m. where a group of 4 Generation X content creators starring the Dad Bond veteran, the Real Slim Sherry, Kelly Minogue, and the Professor Nick Harrison hits the stage to share some comedy and a bit of Gen X nostalgia. Or you could go to farm to table dinner at Parmel Ranch Co. Admission is $125 and it starts at 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. where a collaboration between Wild Foods by Dylan and
Carmela Ranch Co.
This special 6-course meal celebrates local Ozarks ingredients. The ranch's bison and cattle feature
Prominently
on the menu, along with locally foraged mushrooms, wild plums, and more. Saturday, May 9th, Roundtree Historic Home Store at the Roundtree neighborhood. $15 in advance, but if you're staying the whole day, right? No?
$15 in advance if you buy a ticket early, or $20 day of.
Okay, starting at 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Tour 5 stunningly restored historic homes in one of Springfield's most sought-after neighborhoods. In addition to admiring the houses and neighborhood, each home will host live music and local vendors, and shuttle service is included too. And if anybody wants to see that Mamma Mia movie party, it starts on Sunday, May 10th at the Alamo Draft House. Admission is $16, starts at 2:50 p.m., where this movie screening promises to be unlike any other movie that you've ever been to. On your way in, grab props including Dancing Queen sashes, then settle in and prepare to belt out the movie songs while making crafts in your seat. And children's ages 6 and up are welcome.
All right. Thank you for listening to the Blind Community Thrift Store Radio Reading Service. Tune in every week, Monday through Friday, on the Blind Community Thrift Store YouTube channel at 10 a.m. for more up-to-date news from the Springfield News-Leader, Springfield Daily Citizen, Springfield Business Journal, and 417 Magazine. Listen after we are live on the Audio Reader Network at www.reader.ku.edu. All broadcasts are played over KSMU subcarrier airwaves at 67 kHz on 91.1 from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Contact Audio Reader Network for information on receiving a pre-programmed radio. I'm Savannah.
And I'm Madison.
Thank you for